excited to get to work with you. Let's review. Last time we were together, we learned that a reflexive pronoun is a noun that shows belonging. A reflexive pronoun comes after the verb, and we use it to talk about the same person as the noun or pronoun in the subject. Today, we are going to be talking about adjectives. We will use them in sentences, and we will learn that they describe or tell more about nouns. So an adjective can describe something by telling how it looks, feels, smells, tastes, or sounds. An adjective describes a noun. Remember that a noun could be a person, place, thing, or animal. So an adjective could describe one of those things. If we were going to talk about how something looks, we might say that it's yellow. An adjective that describes how something feels could be hot, that it feels hot. An adjective that could describe how something smells could be stinky. An adjective that describes how something tastes could be salty. And an adjective that describes how something sounds could be loud. Many adjectives can be used to describe the color, size, or shape of something. Let's look at our bananas here. Which word from our chart above could be used to describe a banana's color? Did you think yellow describes the banana's color? You're right. What are some other words that could describe a banana? You might say that other words that describe a banana and how it might look could be curved, skinny, long, pointy, tasty, or soft. Let's continue to fill in the adjectives for the rest of the pictures. This is a pretzel. What word might describe our pretzel? Think about a word you would use to describe the pretzel. And then think which word from the word box above might be the best word from the boxes to describe the pretzel. You might say the pretzel is salty. You're right. When I taste a pretzel, it does taste salty. How about cheese? Which of the words from the word box could you use to describe cheese? I'm going to think of some words that I could use to describe cheese, and then look at our word box and think about which one of those best describes cheese. You might have said that cheese is soft or tasty or stinky. And if you said stinky, I agree. Cheese can be really stinky, and the word stinky can describe how that cheese smells. We have a dog for number 4. What words would you use to describe a dog? Think about the words you would use to describe a dog, and then think which word best fits from the word box. You might have said that you'd describe a dog as noisy, quiet, soft, or loud. The word from the word box that would best describe our dog here is loud. Nice job. Our last image is a pan, like what you use to cook an egg. What are some words you would use to describe a pan? You might say that a pan is round or heavy or hot. In our word box, the word that would best describe our pan is hot. Nice job thinking about words that we can use to describe a noun. Those words, remember, we call adjectives. Okay, friends, I'm going to read the following paragraph, and it's your job to listen for some adjectives as I read out loud. Remember that an adjective is a word that describes a noun. So I want you to listen for words that describe what something could look like, smell like, taste like, sound like, or feel like. Okay, are you ready? Here we go. Danica bites into a big pickle. Cold, salty juice drips down her chin. The pickle is green and crunchy. It also tastes sour. I heard some adjectives in there, and I like adjectives because they help me to picture what's happening in the story. Let's look at the first sentence and see if we can find a noun that's being described. Danica bites into a big pickle. What's the noun in that sentence? The noun in that sentence is pickle. What word describes what that pickle looks like? Can you find the adjective that describes pickle? Big. Big is the adjective that describes pickle. It helps me to know what that pickle looks like. In my mind, I'm thinking of a big pickle, not a little one, because that adjective helped me to picture it. Let's keep reading. Cold, salty juice drips down her chin. What's a noun that's being described in our second sentence? Did you say juice? You're right. Juice is being described. Can you find an adjective that describes juice? Did you say cold? Or did you say salty? Or did you find both? If you said cold and salty, or either one of them, you're right. Now we know that nouns can have two or more adjectives describing them. Let's try the third sentence together. The pickle is green and crunchy. What's a noun in that sentence that's being described? Did you say pickle? You're right, we're again describing that pickle. Can you find an adjective that describes pickle? And I'll challenge you to see if you can find the second one. You might have said green or crunchy, or maybe you're super smart and said both. And you'd be right, green and crunchy are adjectives that describe pickle. Let's go on to our last sentence. It also tastes sour. Now in this sentence, I notice we don't have a noun, we actually have a pronoun here. The pronoun it refers to the pickle again. What's the adjective that's describing it in our sentence? Did you say sour? You're right. The pickle is being described as sour in our last sentence. Nice job. Okay, friends, we are going to work together to complete our story by choosing the correct adjectives from the word box. So let's read those adjectives together. Hungry, green, creamy, loud, sweet. Remember that an adjective is a word that describes or tells more about the noun. It can tell how it looks, feels, smells, tastes, or sounds. Are you ready to try our story? Let's read the first sentence together. Henry hears a blank rumble. What's a word from that box above that might describe how a rumble sounds? Did you say loud? Let's see if that makes sense in our sentence. Henry hears a loud rumble. I agree. I think that rumbles can be really loud on our ears. Let's keep going. It's coming from his tummy. Oh, goodness. He must be hungry. He gets a piece of blank celery. What word in our word box might describe how a piece of celery feels or looks? Look at the word box and see if there's a word that would fit best in that blank. Did you say green? Yeah, green describes how that celery looks. He gets a piece of green celery. Nice work. He spreads blank peanut butter on it. What word from the word box might describe peanut butter? Did you say creamy? He spreads creamy peanut butter on it. Oh, yum, I can picture that celery with its soft, creamy peanut butter on top. He adds some blank raisins. What word might describe what the raisins are like? Did you say sweet? You're right. Raisins are sweet. He adds some sweet raisins. Then Henry eats his snack. Now he does not feel blank anymore. What's a word that might describe how he's feeling or not feeling now? Did you say hungry? I agree, that makes sense to me too. Okay, friends, let's see how we did with our story by reading it back to see if it makes sense. Henry hears a loud rumble. It's coming from his tummy. He gets a piece of green celery. He spreads creamy peanut butter on it. He adds some sweet raisins. Then Henry eats his snack. Now he does not feel hungry anymore. Nice job, friends. Okay, second graders, now it is your turn to use some adjectives in your writing. I'd like you to try to write 2 to 3 sentences about some of your favorite after-school snacks. Each sentence should have an adjective that tells how good something looks, smells, feels, tastes, or sounds. If you want some help thinking of some really yummy snacks, there are some pictures on this page that could help you. Have fun using adjectives in your writing to describe all of the wonderful things you're eating.